Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I'm the Five Pines, and at the Five Pines, we have a lot to say. We have a lot on our mind, and we're gonna say it. So, today I wanted to talk about my first video on family vlogging. I wanted to talk about something I learned in school. So, I went to school for child and youth worker, which is essentially out of college, I could do anything from counseling children to running groups for children at risk, working in domestic violence shelters, working in the schools, and ultimately I ended up working in the schools. So I know a thing or two about childhood development because I went to school for it. And one of the main things that's always shocked me about family vlogging is the confidentiality part. I was obviously, as somebody who has been trained to look out for abuse, I have never thought that what Ruby Franke was doing was ever healthy or like I always thought that her behavior was extremely abusive. And I always said that ever since she started the connections thing, that we would be lucky to see those kids alive. I thought we for sure would see a Lori Vallow case, and I'm just so thankful that those children ended up alive. But the problem with this scenario is now, normally these children would have privacy and there'd be like a publication ban, or just normal people would never be able to know who the victims of this crime were, because normally the states and Canada do, of course, everything's just running now, so now I'll have to talk even louder. Here in Canada and the States, we know that until kids aren't developed until they're at least 25, but 18, they have a good sense of self and yada yada yada. So before then, any mistake that they made can be rehabilitated, rectified, fixed, put on a different path, right? And what bothers me the most about all of these different kids, like even the OK Baby situation with Oscar and Kira, we know what these kids are going through because these parents have not given their kids privacy. Flat out. We should not know. What bothers me the most is when people will repost pictures of, the 8 passengers to get clickbait. And at least if you're gonna do that, please blur out their faces, okay? We do not need to add to the trauma that their parents did because they never gave them the privacy that they deserved. Now these kids will always have, forever, unless they change their name, they will have some sort of thing to carry with them into adulthood, no matter what. On top of the already trauma that they have already gone through and have been inflicted on, because parents just do this to their kids and it's just normal, okay? I'll tell you guys something that I used to share a lot online. I was no influencer back then. I had no following. Now I have a following on Instagram and TikTok. Hopefully to have one on here as well. But I never followed through on being a family vlogger. And for that, I am super, super thankful, because I'm so glad that I never was one. But at the same time, my Instagram got hacked. And now these people have all of these photos and archived pictures and everything that I wouldn't even post online. And there's things that I would, if I could do anything, I would go back and make it private, but I can't. And family vloggers know this because they don't even need somebody to hack them. They have all of this online. All of their kids' meltdowns, all of their bad parenting, all their kids' meltdowns, all online for everybody to see. And one of my favorite things that I ever learned in school was, when it comes to kids, what do we want to do? We want to keep their dignity intact. Do you think it keeps their dignity intact, the amount parents have put their kids online naked? Do you think it keeps kids' dignities intact when Everly LeBrant, or when Cole and Savannah laugh at Everly LeBrant when she's a toddler as some sort of way to mock her and cheer her up as she's sobbing? They look at her like she's so strange. It's so bizarre to me that parents will put their bad parenting for display, for clicks and views, like when their kids get hurt, when their kids go to the hospital. Literally, parents will pick up a camera and film it and know that they get a lot of money. Why? Because perverts love to watch kids in pain. That's what we learned in school. I have never wanted to look through the lens like I've had to, working within the schools, within at-risk kids, within at-risk youth. But I do, okay? I do. And I can promise you that these families know that their kids look them up, okay? Like, kids will look up your kids online. They will look up you. They will look up their kids' families. They will look up anything at school, okay? So when you're putting all of these kids, baby pictures and all of these things, and at the time, it might have been innocent, and I'm talking family vloggers, the ones that put their kids out on their YouTube for exploitation and does not safeguard them. I just do not understand why you put your bad parenting online, why you do not give your kids confidentiality, nor do you keep their dignity intact, because it's not dignified to show the world your kids in pain, and it's not dignified to mock your kids. God, and it's not dignified to fucking leave your husband that you've created a family channel for, Kira, for 7 years, and then leave him for the family's nanny's husband and think that your lives are just going to be peachy keen. No, it's not just how kids' lives are now. No. And you guys have put this online, so we know all of the trauma. We know all of the things. Like Kira says, what drew me to Kira the most was the things that she said about her mom. And I could not believe that someone with a platform was saying these things about her mom and then doing the exact same things that she complains that her mom did. I have no idea. I have no idea if she thinks marrying Preston is going to rid her of this guilt that she has, or what the plans are. But what makes me the most about family vlogging is I don't think 8 Passengers is the first and last of these families to be outed for abusive behavior. I've seen a family channel develop and become what it was, and a mommy influencer behind the scenes. And I can promise you that if you think it's hard to take a family photo and get your kids to participate and offer them nuggets, hey, when we're done, you guys, let's just do this for grandma and papa. Like, you want to be in the family picture. You don't want to be the only person out. It's so hard. As a photographer, I know how hard it is to get kids. Like, I'm so good at my job. I'm so good at being a photographer because I was a child and youth worker, and I just have a way to talk to kids that makes them feel comfortable to be in front of the camera, and that's a pretty hard thing to do. But imagine having to do it all the time. Imagine when you go on vacation, you have to worry about working as a child. You are being groomed and led into this life. And look at Kira. She has made it pretty well aware that she tells her kids that why they no longer can be in front of the camera, and that's fine. But instead of still capturing these memories with her kids, she literally tells them, like, get your head out of the shot. And she used to do interviews with her kids, and I'm not sure if she's pulling her kids aside and doing activities like that right now, but do we think she's really doing that if she's not doing it for content? She says she doesn't. Imagine growing up in this environment and thinking, like, this is why I'll never hate DCP. Okay, because imagine growing up in this environment and absolutely everybody around you staying silent and having nobody being your voice. I mean, imagine, like, if you're a person who was abused as a child or went through trauma or something, imagine if that trauma was exploited by your parents for money. Imagine that. Imagine your weakest moments, your most vulnerable moments, you're literally becoming a fucking person, and your parents put it online for money. This will be the single-handed most regretful thing that we do as a generation. I know that millennials try hard to be good parents and not abuse their kids and do all of these great things. Millennials, Gen Xers, whatever you want to say. But this will be our biggest mistake as a society. And I see it more and more every day as we see things like, you know, the 8 Passengers crew, and all of the things that have gone on since then. And, you know, we wouldn't know all of these things, and we wouldn't even know what these kids look like if Ruby and Kevin didn't put their entire lives on YouTube. Like, you know, when you I don't know if I'm the only one that does this, but when you see a crime on Facebook, like when they would have like the crimes on Facebook or whatever, I live in Canada, so that doesn't happen anymore, but and then the first thing that you would do is Facebook their names. Yeah, imagine, and you would be able to see their kids and all of this, but imagine if they had their entire lives were out for the picking. It's like Chris and Shanann Watts. Nothing makes me more sad than her not getting the chance to take all of her girls' all those videos off of the internet before she had a choice. And then she had a bunch of people rip into her because of all of this content that she had out there, calling her a bad mom, saying it was her fault. And I'm not saying that it was her fault at all, because back then we genuinely did not know what could play out after. And that's why I'm saying she should have had the chance to take all of that information off the internet. Now, I will say that I will be covering family vlogging more in depth, like going over videos. I just wanted to kind of talk about the ethics of family vlogging in general and which ones that I noticed they were breaking. Just even every time I would watch a family vlogger, I used to watch Just Fam. I more watched the ones that clean their house. I was never really interested. They really bored me. Another thing that I noticed a long time ago that really bothered me was that family vlogging was kind of the first step and taste that your kids will have of an unrealistic lifestyle from influencers. Like my daughter was like, why don't we have yes days? Why don't we do this? Why don't we do that? And I had to sit her down and explain to her, like, these people aren't real life. They're not gonna record the moments of them, of their mummies being in a bad mood or their dads being in a bad mood and yelling. They're not gonna record, they're not gonna show you all of the bad parts about their life. They're only showing you the good parts. And I remember thinking that was messed up, that I was like, wow, these people have given such an unrealistic expectation about what family and family life should look like, that now my children are having unrealistic expectations upon me. So I've always kind of known, even before, like I used to tweet about my breakups. I was a single mom. And I'm so glad that I made the conscious decision to take those tweets down, delete my Twitter, so that my child would never have to see the hurt that I was going through when I was pregnant with her, because it's just not necessary. And I hope that with this video that maybe I can reach somebody, maybe somebody will listen to me, somebody understands, somebody, hears me, here's my thoughts, and it's just, imagine anything happening to your child, not even at the hands of you, and everybody knowing everything about your child because you've not done a single thing to protect them online. Okay? So that's my little family vlogger rant. I will be covering more, like going over videos. I just have no idea how DCP does it. I really have to figure out how to review it, because it's easier on TikTok when I just put the green screen behind me and be like, oh really, Kira, you said what earlier in the hour of your live and now you're contradicting yourself at the end. So once I figure that out, I swear I'll be putting out more videos. I have needed to set up a little space, but I'm in my garage right now and there are things on, and I'm still putting this out there just to put it out, because I promised one of my followers on TikTok that I would do it, so I'm doing it right now. So hi, I believe your name was Sky, Ashley, something. Anyways, we had a great talk over live. So if you want to follow me on TikTok, I have a whole thing about family vloggers, a whole playlist about Kira, I'm going to be posting one about Jess Fam today because her clickbait is getting out of control. So anyways, have a great day, guys. Please like and subscribe. I would just not say that, but you know, honestly, I've been a content creator for almost a year now, and I don't have enough, you know, wave to make money, which is why I'm starting my YouTube, because YouTube will pay people. And I'm hoping to break into YouTube and get this going because I put up so much content and I know I'm entertaining. I know it sounds rude, but I actually went to school for child and youth, or before child and youth worker, I went to school for television and broadcasting. So it really doesn't surprise me that I'm here. I will have a new mic soon. I will have everything set up. So yeah, like, follow, subscribe. I don't know. And my socials will be either over here or down in the description. So actually it'll be my link tree since I set that up. Okay. Have a great day, guys. Thanks for coming to my video.